Welcome back. Today, we're heading to Bangkok to explore one of its most breathtaking landmarks. This isn't just any temple, it's a masterpiece of art, history, and a king's incredible vision.
Right in the heart of Bangkok's historic Dusit district, there's a temple that practically glows. It's officially known as Wat Benchamabophit, but pretty much everyone calls it the Marble Temple. And for good reason. Its main hall, the courtyard, even the pillars, they're all made from this brilliant white Carrara marble, which was shipped all the way from Italy.
Yeah, that gleaming facade is absolutely stunning, but it's really just the cover of a much deeper story. A story about a modernizing king, a fusion of cultures, and a spiritual center that is very much alive today. So that's the big question, right? What is the story behind all that beautiful stone?
Okay, so here's our game plan. We're going to see why this place is so much more than just marble, dig into the grand vision of the king who built it, check out how East literally meets West in its design, feel the temple's living heartbeat, and then wrap up with everything you need to know before you go.
First up, let's peel back the layers and see why this temple is so much more than its shiny exterior.
And that brings us to the man behind it all. The story of this temple is completely tied to one of Thailand's most revered monarchs and his grand vision. So, the whole story really revolves around King Chulalongkorn, who you'll also know as Rama V. His vision turned what was once a humble local temple into this royal masterpiece. The big transformation kicked off in 1899. The king had just built his new palace nearby, and, well, he wanted a royal temple to match its grandeur. By the time it was finished in 1911, it earned its new name, Wat Benchamabophit, which literally means the Temple of the Fifth King.
And you know, the king's ambition here was just huge. This was not just about building another place to pray. He saw it as the royal temple for his new palace, sure, but also as a way to show off Siamese art to the entire world. It was a pretty powerful statement of Thai culture and modernity, especially at a time when colonial powers were all around. On top of that, it was also designed to be a center for Buddhist education and a kind of public museum gallery for incredible religious art.
And the king's personal connection to this temple, it was profound. This wasn't just some royal project, it was his legacy. In a really poignant final act, his ashes were actually enshrined right here, right beneath the main Buddha image, forever tying his memory to this incredibly sacred space.
All right, let's get into the architecture because this is where things get really cool. The temple's design, which was overseen by the king's own half-brother, Prince Narasera Niwatiwong, is this stunning fusion of styles.
You can see this blend so clearly. On one hand, the whole silhouette is classic Thai. You've got those beautiful, cascading, multi-tiered roofs and the elegant golden peaks called chofas. But then, the material itself is that famous Italian marble. And get this? Inside, you'll find these incredible stained glass windows, which were actually made in Florence, giving it the feel of a European cathedral. It's this amazing, deliberate mashup of worlds.
Now, the centerpiece of that main hall is this magnificent Buddha image. It's a replica of the Phra Phutachinarat, which is considered one of the most beautiful and revered statues in all of Thailand. It was cast back in 1920, and it sits against this really striking blue background, which just creates an unbelievably serene focal point for the whole room.
52. Okay, I'm just going to throw that number out there. It's the key to understanding another one of the temple's most fascinating features, and it fulfills another part of the king's grand vision. Any guesses?
That number, 52, is the number of unique Buddha images that are housed in the cloister surrounding the main hall. It's basically a gallery put together by another prince, Prince Damrong Rajanubab, and it takes you on a journey through the history of Buddhist art. You can see masterpieces from all these different periods, like the super elegant walking Buddha from the Sukhothai era, and even statues that show foreign influence, like a fasting Buddha that has clear Greek artistic traits from ancient Gandhara.
And here's another really unique detail. Most Thai temples have a big stupa, or chedi, that's the dome-shaped monument that usually holds sacred relics. But here, King Chulalongkorn did something completely different. He planted a Bodhi tree, grown from a shoot brought all the way from Bodh Gaya in India, the exact place where the Buddha reached enlightenment. It's a living monument.
So, we've talked about the history, we've talked about the art, but let's be clear, this place is not a museum. Let's talk about the temple's living heartbeat, because it is an active, thriving sanctuary. Every single morning, a really special ritual takes place here. Between 6 and 7 a.m., instead of the monks heading out into the community to receive alms, the community actually comes to them. People gather right at the temple to offer food and daily essentials.
It's this beautiful, reversed tradition, and it's something you can absolutely watch. Respectfully, of course.
And that energy just keeps going all day long. The air is often filled with the sound of morning chants coming from the main chapel. And during big Buddhist festivals like Visakha Puja, the whole place is lit up by these breathtaking candlelight processions. It also hosts all sorts of unique cultural ceremonies, making it a true living hub for the entire community.
All right, let's wrap this up. We'll cover what you need to know if you plan to visit, and then I've got one last thought to leave you with.
So the temple is open every day from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. The best time to go is definitely early in the morning so you can catch that serene atmosphere and maybe see the alms ceremony. Just remember to dress respectfully. That means covering your shoulders and your knees. Oh, and a fun fact for you. Pull out a 5 baht coin when you're in Thailand. You'll see the front of this exact temple right there on it.
This brings us to a really thought-provoking idea from the world of heritage studies. The quote says that conservation isn't really about freezing something in time, it's actually about managing its journey through time. It's about dealing with change. And that leaves us with this final, kind of mind-bending question. At its core, Buddhism teaches us that everything is impermanent, that nothing lasts forever. So how does a sacred space like this, a monument literally built to last, a vessel for memory, square that with its own core philosophy? How does it honor its very fixed past while continuing to live, breathe, and yes, inevitably change? That's something worth thinking about.